So we're starting to get into the off leash with Kahlua. This is where, you know, the rubber meets the road, right? We're getting her out, starting to experiment with off leash out in the neighborhood, and, you know, a whole variety of different pictures now, right? Different spots every day, getting her completely off the leash. And this is where a lot of training fails, right? Where she's got to do it herself. Corrections are going to be more severe. I want her doing it mostly on her own with less help. I do have the tab leash on her for, like, you know, if we get her into like a dicey situation that she's never seen before, and I want to, you know, I can hold on to that, but I don't want to be dragging her, right? It's actually there so like I can make her think she's off leash, and I can just hold it just in case if we're in like a really tight spot with the dog being reactive. It's the first time she's seen that. But now we're, you know, this is what we're working towards, right? Her off leash, walking through the neighborhood, dogs, people. And again, we're going to have a lot of structure in the beginning, and giving her little bits of freedom bit by bit. And, you know, we got a little bit going on here. We've got another dog out, you know, we've got someone following with the camera, and we're going to take Kahlua, you know, through her paces. Break. Good girl. Kahlua, heel. Good. So I'm going to warm her up and make sure that she can do all this stuff before we really get going. And this is really important, right? I want to see that she's attentive, she's nice and warm, right? And she's in a good headspace before we actually run into dogs or people. Good job. Nice. Wow, good girl. Very nice. Good. Sit. Good. I'm going to keep her under a lot of structure in the beginning. Break. Yeah, good job. Down. Good. But I want to see if she can hit all this stuff. And it should be no different, right? That leash is coming off, and in her brain, it is no different. Break. Yeah, sweetie. Good girl. Let's go. Heel. So at this point in training, I want to see if she can do this stuff for prolonged periods of time without much help. And if she makes mistakes, the corrections are going to be less often, but more impactful, right? This is what I've been working towards. Walking down the street, Kahlua off the leash. She sniffed there, and I corrected her. Good job. And I want to see if she can do this mostly on her own. Good girl. And a really important thing of off-leash work is, like, don't just unclip the dog and use your obedience when you need it, right? When you're first starting to get the dog off leash, I'm going to have her in the same structure she's been in on leash a lot. So that default behavior is her looking to me, right? Her sticking close to me. And I want to start getting her going out and experimenting and, you know, taking in the environment more and more. But we're going to do it bit by bit, right? In the beginning, I want her really engaged with me. So the first time we see dogs and people and things that freak her out, she's going to fall back to that structure. Good girl. Nice work. Good. Break. Yeah. Good job. So I can give her like a little bit of free time, let her sniff and do her thing. I'll even see if she needs to go pee over here. Come on, Kahlua. Go potty. But I want to keep her in the structure a lot in the beginning. Good girl. Kahlua, come. Good girl. Nice job. Heel. Good. When we get to open areas, I'll start experimenting with giving her a little bit more free time, and we're going to progress to the point where she can be loose most of the time. And I just use my obedience when I need to. But I want to have her in a lot of structure in the beginning so that when we do see people, when we do see dogs, she's not going to make any regrettable decisions, right? Good job. Big part of having an off-leash dog is make control before you need it. Good. Sit. Good. I also want to start experimenting with things like this, her seeing that the handler is going to leave and having that nice impulse control to keep it together. Good job. We're starting to increase the distance on that, getting further and further away, expecting her to hold the obedience for longer. Good job. And I'm not helping her as much either, right? I'm not constantly reinforcing her in the heel. I want her to do it mostly on her own. Break. Nice girl, Kahlua. Good job. Super good. Down. Good girl. Whoa, nice job. Very good. And I'm still using lots of positive reinforcement in the beginning too, right? Because I want to show her like, hey, all the fun, all the engagement that we normally do, we're doing it now too. We're just off leash walking through the neighborhood, right? I want it to be exactly the same, right? I want her to think this is some different novel thing. Good girl. And right there, that was very important, right? Kahlua heard someone in their driveway shoveling. She's a naturally, a little anxious dog. And what'd she do? She noticed it and she checked in with me. That's the conditioned response that I want, right? So I'm going to reward that very heavily. Or I could throw her into obedience and then praise her. But I want to show her that's what I want when you get a little nervous. When you see someone or another dog, a stranger, that is what I want. Because before, she would just bark and lunge and do all that crazy stuff, right? Kahlua, heel. Good girl. And this is only Kahlua's first day of doing this kind of walk, right? Off leash through the neighborhood. Only her first day doing it. So I'm going to be giving her lots of structure. And when I do give her the freedom, I'm alternating her in and out. Obedience, free time. Obedience, free time, right? I want to catch. Like, she's got a little more freedom. So watch this. She's starting to get ahead. I hit the brakes. Boom, correction, right? Pay attention. Good girl. And these corrections aren't like, tiny little things anymore. Like, this is 50 on Kahlua on the e-collar. Like, she's a tough dog, but we're not tickling her anymore. They're consequential. She's been at, this is her 4th week of training. Like, she knows what this stuff means, but now she's got a little more freedom, exciting, things to smell, right? So we're really going to hold her accountable to that now. Good job. But at this point, when she gets that e-collar correction, you can see she knows exactly what to do with it, right? She knows exactly what she did wrong. She knows she got caught. She flies back into obedience. Good job. Nice. Break. Yeah, good girl. Give her a little bit of free time again. And I actually have Kahlua's favorite reinforcer in my pocket, which is her ball. And I haven't popped it yet, and there's a reason why. I'm using her food, praise, stuff like that in general, but I'm saving this ball for when we get to really big stuff. First time she sees a sketchy looking individual, someone walking a little funny, a kid, another dog. When she behaves well around that stuff, that's when she's gonna get her ball. And that's only when she's gonna get her ball right now, for the most part. I'm really saving that for the big decisions around really big distractions. Come on, girl, come on. And you can see, like, she doesn't want to go very far. She sticks pretty close. It's a good problem to have with a nervous dog like this, right? Because I've shown her, like, sticking close to the handler is going to keep you out of trouble, right? Sticking close to the handler is where you get all your reassurance, your stability. And I do want her to get out a bit more and start exploring and being a little more open out here, but one step at a time. I really don't mind that she sticks close right now. This is really, really good way for me to mold her and shape her as we walk. Kahlua, heel. So in and out of obedience, the whole walk. I want to see that she can get the free time, she can sniff, but when I call her back in, that nose stays up. She stays right on my leg. She is watching me, parking that butt, all these things. Good girl. Nice, girl. Break. Yeah. And as she starts to like to explore more, I'm going to start making these rewards more functional, right? If she wants to sniff and do her thing, the reward for the obedience is the break to get to go sniff and be a dog. A lot of people don't understand that, but if I have you healing under obedience and you want to be sniffing and exploring, that can be a reward in itself, right? There's a time and place for both depending on the dog. It's a nice day. No people or dogs out here. Need some distractions. Hey, it's too easy. What you'll see me do is if we do get in tight with a dog that's aroused or something that I see Kahlua is bothering, I'll just lightly grab her tab, but I really don't want her to notice it. I don't want to feel the leash tension. It's just there just in case, right? So I can navigate those situations with her safely the first couple of times. Right, go on, girl, go on. Kahlua, come. Good girl. Yeah. And when she first starts to wander and start to explore and her nose takes her places, these are perfect times I can practice my recall, right? When she actually wants to get away. And I can make sure that, yeah, she'll still come back. Her wanting to get away is not a problem. It's just a good time to test the recall. And we'll go walk down the river, see if we can find some more distraction. This is kind of boring. Not accomplishing much with Kahlua right now. Down. Good girl. Oh, did you leave her too, Jess? Yeah, leave her. Really let her see that picture? Good girl. I want to see she's not jumpy, she's not flying out when I praise her, say her name. I want to see her really, really cueing on her release cue. Good girl. Break. Nice, sweetheart. Good job. I do see some people over here. That dog's off leash, so I don't know if I trust that. We'll stick to the on-leash dogs. We lost Matea, hey? Bella's going at a bit slower pace than Kahlua, I think. Hi, sweetheart. Yes. So we're gonna get to a busy area here pretty quick, get into the main path on the river here, hopefully see some people and some dogs. And this is where she's gonna be under obedience a lot and where I am gonna pop her ball for her if she does everything like I need her to. Go on, girl. Go on. Go, go, go. I'm gonna give her some free time here first before we get to the busy part. Kahlua, come. Good girl. Nice job. Come. Good. Break. There's an e-collar correction there because she didn't come straight back. She wandered. Go on, girl. Go, go, go. Kahlua, come. Good girl. Nice job. I want to see she actually comes right back to me. She doesn't play tag or go by me. None of that. Good girl. Little things like that are important. Like she didn't park her butt all the way a couple times in a row, so I nicked her. I made her do it over and over until she did it properly. Heel. These things are really important, like stopping to sniff. I want to get on all this stuff. Because she starts doing this half-ass now. Imagine what she's going to do when we see dogs and people. So I'm actually going to do that a couple more times. Good. Break. Make sure that butt is hitting the ground. Heel. Heel. Good girl. Chop. Nice, sweetheart. That's a good test right here. Got some dogs coming. Heel. Good girl. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lightly hold this. Heel. Good. I want to see what her behavior looks like coming by. Good job, Kahlua. But I don't want her to think she's on a leash. Good. Hello. Good girl. Really nice, Kahlua. Whoa. And those are going to be the moments where Kahlua gets her ball now. She loves that ball. Out. Good girl. I'll make her go towards the dog, get the ball, and come back. Yeah. Because we're not just working on her obedience and her impulse control. We're also working on her nerves. That stuff makes Kahlua really uncomfortable. Out. Good. And the least of my worries right now is actually Kahlua being reactive. Like, I'd be shocked if she was reactive at this point around me. But what I am looking for is that she keeps it together, she stays stable in the obedience, and she doesn't take off. She doesn't bail. Because Kahlua is one of those dogs where, like, when the pressure comes in and she can't choose fight, she chooses flight, right? I'm going to show her that either one of those options not going to work, right? Stay stable, deal with it, calm your nerves, stick to your obedience when you need to. Kahlua, heel. Good girl. Nice. I want to make sure that butt's hitting the ground again. Break. She gets really lazy with that. Kahlua's pretty, she's a repeat offender with that one. Come on, girl. Break. Now that I see her behavior is looking pretty nicely like that, walking by holding the tab, I'm going to stop holding the tab. I'm going to have some trust in Kahlua. And I'm also going to trust my ability as the handler. Even if she does make a mistake, I can correct her and get her back to me, right? But I got to start getting to the point where, you know, I don't need to hold that tab. I don't even got to bring the tab, right? So we're going to start experimenting with that a little bit. Good girl, sweetheart. Good job, sweetie. Kahlua, heel. Good girl. Good job, sweetie. Nice. Good girl. Oh, yeah. Nice work. Very good. Very good, girl. Yeah. Nice job. Nice job. Oh, crazy girl. Oh, crazy girl. Right? Oh, good job. Yeah. Out. Good job. Let's go. Heel. Good. Good job, sweetie. Good girl. Work. Hello. Good job, sweetheart. Good girl. Nice. Good girl. Good work. Good job. Whoa. So, something happened there where she looked at the dog and I didn't correct her for it. And that's really important. I can't correct her for looking because she's scared. And I can't correct her for being scared. But guess what? If she looks too hard, if she focuses too long, she's gonna miss me, right? And she got like a foot or two behind me, and that's where she got corrected. So it has to be clear. You can't correct her for being fearful, for being a little looky, but if she fixates too hard, I'll walk her back up here, back to the neighborhood. Let's go, Kahlua. So now Kahlua's done really well, and she's showed me good things around dogs and people, and for the most part, she's been really good in the obedience. A couple reminders here and there, a couple corrections, which is pretty normal for only her. I mean, it's only the second time I've ever done this with her. I'm gonna let her have some free time. And what I like to do is I like to let them sit into that free time a little bit. Let them get a little distracted, forget they're working, and then I'll throw something at them like a recall or a heel, right? Or a downstay. And then I'll get on top of them for that so that they get used to this idea that, hey, you can be on a break You can do what you want for maybe 5-10 minutes, but when I need you, I really need you to pay attention. Heel. Good girl, break. Right, like that was a perfect time. She was sniffing, distracted, and I waited to make sure she came in perfectly parked, gave me all of her attention, and then she gets her break to go do, whatever she likes to do again. Go on, girl, break. Go, 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 go. And once she's showing me really good behavior, I actually start to encourage her to get away from me a little bit, right? Like, hey, go do your thing, go be a dog. If I need you, I'll let you know. Kahlua, come. Good girl, nice work. And I'm still using a lot of reinforcement at this point in training. Like we're just, this first couple times she's been off leash. It is variable, but it's still there quite a bit. I'm gonna start to taper that off a little bit the further we get along. This is Kahlua's 4th week, right? So we've got the rest of the week to keep doing off-leash walks with her and tidy all this up. And over the course of that week, I'm using a little bit less reinforcement, a little more expectations, a little more distraction every single session until we've, pretty much seen it all. One thing when you train in this manner, right, in this style of training, you do it this way, step by step. I don't have Kahlua in obedience right now, right, but she's sticking really close on the road, right, because she just naturally sticks pretty close. That's just the way, the way we live, the way we wired her a bit. So I can have her be pretty loose, and she's not like running off into yards and stuff like that. And if she gets too far away, if I need the control or a car's coming, I just, Kahlua, heel. Good girl. Good job. Right? I just put her on her obedience. And now I'm watching for that nose and that butt when I stop. Right there. Good girl. And I want to show her, like, hey, on your break you can sniff, but when you're in the heel, you really got to be on it. She has more free time now. She likes sniffing, exploring. That's fine. When she's in the heel, she's really got to be on it. When she's sniffing in the heel, she can't track me and see where I'm at. Good girl. Good job. And I'll really start to alternate her now. Like I'll have these prolonged bouts of free time followed by prolonged bouts of structured obedience. To really make sure she can go back and forth, back and forth. Good girl. For the dogs that don't like to sit their butt on the ground when they start getting excited, a little more free time, I'll do a lot of this. Right when that butt hits the ground. Heel. Nice, girl. Very good. Heel. Good. Good girl. Then I'll do it variably. Yeah, sweetheart. And I want that butt hitting the ground to actually become like a little waypoint for her, right? And realizing like, well, hey, when she stops, when I stop, that's generally when she's gonna get loose or get a reward. That way she's watching me. She's waiting for that stop, right? I got a car coming here, so Kahlua, heel. Put her on her obedience and hit the sidewalk. It's another thing with having an off-leash dog, right? Like situational awareness. I don't want to bother anyone that's driving thinking my dog is just loose. Good girl. Good job, sweetheart. So at this point, most of our training sessions with Kahlua are going to be off the leash, or at least on the tab leash, and really pushing the envelope on prolonged periods of obedience and how much distraction we throw at her. And you can see, like, once we get her off the leash, there's still a little bit of worry, a little bit too much attention on the doggies when we see them out. And that is what we're going to be addressing. Getting her around lots of dogs, showing her to be very attentive to the handler, showing her that paying attention to the dogs, nothing good ever comes from that. Really not worried about her being reactive at this point. Only way I could see Kahlua being reactive, a dog like really got to her and like got on top of her, which I wouldn't blame her for. But we do want her attention a little bit more off of them, because those are the seeds that allow it to come back rampant. So that's what we're working on the next few days with her. Walks like this, more distraction, getting her around dogs, and really making sure that she can do this with as minimal reinforcement as possible before we pass her back to her owners at her go home lesson at the end of the week. Good girl. Wow, yeah. Yeah, nice work, girl.